Let's bring in our election night power panel. Fox News contributor Steve Hilton, political analyst and class action attorney Kelly Hyman, and former White House Deputy Strategic Communications Director Roman Duravi. Thank you all for coming on. So Steve Hilton has been ready. He's got it. He's ready,
I'm ready
for this. So he wants the first question. Let me just play some sound for you. Here's Nikki Haley tonight. Watch and we'll get Steve's reaction.
At one point in this campaign, there were 14 of us running, and we were at 2% in the polls. Well, I'm a fighter. And I'm scrappy. And now we're the last one standing next to Donald Trump.
Like Alexis McAdams said, Steve, she says her campaign believes she has money and momentum to keep going. You don't think that way?
No. Let's just review the night. I want to use the word stunning, Trace, in relation to both candidates. So, Donald Trump, this was a stunning victory for him. This was the state that is, of all the Republican primary states, the worst in the whole country for Donald Trump. And he wins a majority. He wins over 50% and looks like a double-digit victory over Nikki Haley. That is a stunning result. Then you look at Nikki Haley, and it's not so much the result. I mean, by the way, as Alexis said, this is exactly what she and the never-Trump Republican establishment dreamed of. The two-horse race in a state that favors Nikki Haley and is the worst for Donald Trump. And she's defeated by double digits. But the worst thing was that speech. Nikki Haley's speech, stunningly bad judgment. Let's just think about the situation she's in. She wants to go to South Carolina, a state where she's miles behind Donald Trump currently, 20, 30, 40 points behind Donald Trump. She needs to persuade Republicans who currently support Trump to switch to her. So what does she do in that speech tonight? Attack Donald Trump more aggressively than she's ever done before. It is stunningly bad judgment. It makes me think, actually, she knows she's going to lose. She's not interested in even trying to win votes. She's got something else going on. Maybe her head's been turned by all the media adulation she's got in the last couple of days. It's impossible to understand what she's trying to do with that speech tonight.
Roman Duravi, to you now. Do you think Steve Hilton's got a point there? Because Nikki Haley says that she is staying through South Carolina. She's way down. It's her home state. She is way down in South Carolina. It's 31 days away. That's a lot of kind of money and donors thinking, what's going on here?
Absolutely. Steve is spot on. You know, when Nikki took the stage tonight, it was not a speech that the American people needed to hear. We really do need to take this time and come together because they've spoken. They spoke loud and clear in Iowa, and when they voted for President Trump. They did it again tonight in New Hampshire, and he's won New Hampshire in the primary before, so it's no surprise that they came back out for him. And one thing that I want to remind people is that the Republican base is MAGA, yes, but Donald Trump's base is more than MAGA. It has been since 2015. And so I think what you will see eventually is you'll have a lot of the other candidates in the primary, their followers, following them to President Trump.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting take. I want to play this soundbite. This is the media reacts to the Trump speech, and I'll get Kelly Hyman's take on this. This is a little bit of MSNBC and CNN, and then we'll see if you agree with this. Watch.
One of the things that's interesting about Donald Trump's performance this evening is he's mad. He's angry. That was not a celebratory Trump. He's angry that Nikki Haley is still in the race.
So like last time in Iowa, it was a more conventional, it was gracious, it was thank you. So I'm glad that we saw that because that's the sort of this sort of petulant incoherence, which is really kind of it's really the rhetorical register that he is at all times.
See, I think those are both bad takes because he's not going to be conciliatory tonight. I mean, he's still in a fight. He's still in a fight, so you go after your competitor because she's still in the fight. It has nothing to do with being angry. It has to do with the fact that you're competitive.
And that you want to win.
Right.
That's definitely key. But when we have to look at this, that Trump had won, but we have to think about the fact that Nikki Haley beat him when it came to moderates in New Hampshire. She beat him when it came to independents in New Hampshire. And she beat him when it came to college education of people that have that education level. And when he was in the primary before, he had much higher percentage than he did this time. So, yes, he definitely did come across as being a bit angry.
Yeah. Steve, do you find that? Because I looked at this and I was kind of watching the speech tonight, and it wasn't last week's speech where he was complimenting complimenting, Ron DeSantis and the rest of them because he beat them pretty soundly, and he knew that things were going his way. Did he seem angry to you tonight?
No, he seemed like he would have. If you watch the whole speech, he was joking, he was relaxed. It was classic Trump. The angriest person on a stage tonight was Nikki Haley. But of course, the media, because they're all in for Nikki Haley, kind of made out that she made some brilliant speech and it was Trump that was angry. Completely ridiculous. And actually, if you look at the difference between them, she went first. And as you and I were just discussing, Trace, when she started, I was watching it with friends, and we looked at it and thought, wow, she's going to concede. Because this is, the way she started off, that was the direction it went. And then suddenly she took this turn into attacking Trump. It was a massive mistake. Trump then came and had to respond to that. I thought, actually, if you look at the totality of his speech, it was entertaining and pretty gracious and the usual Trump that we get. And it looked to me like the sign of a very, very confident President Trump.
Roma, to you now, because Nikki Haley said that it's time to put chaos behind us. Listen to her.
For a lot of people, politics is way too personal. It's not personal for me. I voted for Trump twice. I was proud to serve America in his cabinet. I agree with many of his policies. I decided to run because I'm worried about the future of our country and because it's time to put the negativity and chaos behind us.
But a lot of Trump supporters will say the chaos is actually coming from the Democrats. All of these indictments, Russian collusion, Russian bounties, you name it. The Democrats are the one that are ginning up the impeachments, etc. What do you think about Nikki Haley's take on that?
Yeah, Trace, it's unfortunate to see Nikki Haley taking a page out of the Democrats' playbook, talking about President Trump being a liar. That was a new one. Her claiming that he is the one causing destruction and that he cannot lead America to victory. All of those things are what you hear from the radical left and from the media like CNN that is going on air all evening saying that Trump looks weak tonight, Trump looks angry, like you just said, which we know is not true. He was very confident on stage tonight. He was having a great time. He invited multiple people standing behind him to take a victory lap with him because he is a team player and he's in it for the American people. So, Nikki Haley was only correct about one thing in her speech this evening, and that's when she said it was a two-player race. Unfortunately, she had the wrong two people in mind. It is not her. It is President Trump and Joe Biden.
And Kelly, if you look at Nikki Haley's chessboard, the map, so to speak, of the primaries, it looks bad. I mean, the map is bad. I mean, her team has got to be saying, Nikki, the map is bad. You're not ahead in any of these states. In fact, you're way behind. And here we go.
Right, but as she said, this is the first one. It's just getting started. And she said she's a fighter. She's a scrapper, that she's going to be in it to win it. And no matter what outcome it is.
Yeah. Steve, your final thoughts on this, because it really does look bad. Go ahead.
I would just ask Kelly, but really, Nikki Haley, okay, tell us the state that you win.
Right.
Like, where? Point to a single place where you have the best chance was New Hampshire and she lost.
What's the path? I mean, that's the whole thing, is what is the path?
It is over. Whatever anyone wants to say, whatever she wants to say,
Yeah.
it is over. Donald Trump is going to be the nominee, and I just don't understand why Nikki Haley can't follow in the footsteps of those candidates who clearly are all about winning the election and uniting against Joe Biden, Vivek and Tim Scott, even Ron DeSantis. So I don't know why she can't get that point, because for the sake of the country, she goes on about how important it is for the sake of the country. Yes, exactly. So let's get together and beat Joe Biden.
And if I'm in the media and I'm in the room at the time and she says it's just the beginning, right? This is the beginning. It's not the end. My question is, what's the path? Tell me the path, and let's all jump on board. Kelly, Steve, Roma, thank you.